Hello there, my circle of friends. How are you this morning? Or this is fine afternoon, I should say, actually. I'm bringing you something new today, and I hope that you are going to enjoy it. This is a project that I've been working for my son's grade 1 teacher. Since the end of the school year is approaching, I thought that I would do something nice for her. Especially since she just recently got engaged sometime, actually not recently, but this Christmas, I believe. So I decided that I was gonna make something pretty for her and something that she probably may be able to use for her wedding, and if not, it's not a problem, right? It's a shawl. It's beautiful. It's lace. It starts out with from the bottom up, so you can make it as big and as cozy as you would like. I like to call it comforting shawl because it's so beautiful and so comforting, I find. So what it is made up of what is called the puff stitch and Solomon's knot. So you can see it right there. It's a beautiful shawl. It's a beautiful pattern. Now the darker you find the yarn that you use, it's not the pattern, the figures that you create, the motif is not as visible. However, it's right here for you. I hope you enjoy it. I will take you step by step on how, so until you get the the pattern and you can make it for yourself. All right, so it's really nice and easy. It's quite simple. I will show you in a different thread and a different yarn as usual. Please go ahead, get your yarn, the yarn that you choose. I made this one with a Karen yarn. I used I believe it was my size 5 crochet hook, and obviously the bigger the hook that you're using, the size of the hook that you're using, the larger and the more looser the stitches will be, which is probably something that you may want. I mean, but you can give it a shot and try and see if you need a smaller hook size. You go ahead and give it a shot, right? Whatever works for you. So now this is supposed to be done with the puff stitch, but instead of just using the puff stitch, what I decided to do was use these popcorn stitches, or some people may call it, I believe, pineapples. Whatever works for you is fine. I like it this way, and I will show you now what it is that you need to do. I will give you the pattern. Now I got this is not my creation. This is a pattern I found also online on YouTube by Mayo Gonzalez. I'm not sure where she is. I dare say that she is probably in Mexico, but I hope I'm not insulting her by saying the wrong country, the wrong nationality, but that's what I think. I could be wrong, of course. I do hope that you enjoy the work, and here we go. My son is helping me today with my video, so Alex, will you please take a look and see if we are in focus on?
Yes, we are.
Do you see Mommy's hands?
Yes.
Can they be seen well?
I can't really see.
Look here. Can you see Mommy's hands?
Yeah.
Are Mommy's hands in focus?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, hon. Okay, so here, this is normally how I start my projects. I grab a piece of yarn, and actually, you know what, thinking about it, normally you start with 5 chains, but I think probably if you made a magic ring, it will probably work out for you. So let's see here. Chain 3. I have my notes here somewhere. So 1, 2, and 3. To do this presentation for you, what I'm doing is using this leftover yarn. It's Red Heart, and the hook I chose is 6.5 or a K. So 3 chains, and then we are going to do a puff stitch. And to make a puff stitch, actually I'm gonna do the popcorn stitch. I like it better. I just do. I like better the way it looks with this shawl. 1, 2, and 3. So you do 3 of these, yarn over hook 3 times. You do not complete. Actually, no, that would be a puff stitch that I'd be creating, but I'm not so crazy about the puff stitch. Sorry, my bad. So I have 1, 2, and 3 chains, and here I go and try and do just these. I'm going to be as if I'm doing 3 double crochets, but I'm not going to complete the 3 double crochets. All right, so it's just going to be 1, 2, keeping the last loop of the double crochet on the hook, 3, and here once I have 3 double crochets almost complete on the crochet hook, this is where I'm going to complete and make the full double crochet. And I'm gonna grab a piece of yarn and I'm gonna run it through all my hoops that are on the hook. Right now I'm gonna go complete that, and then do 1 chain, and inside the same loop I'm gonna go back and do the same 1 double crochet that is not completed, is not finished, 2, and keeping the last hoop, the last loop of the double crochet on the hook. You see, 2 and 3. Okay, and 1 more. You gotta do 4 of these. Okay, I only did 3 of these in the first puff stitch because the 3 chains already that I started out with make the 4th one. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, and here I'm gonna do 2 chains and 1. Now I'm not sure if you've noticed this about me, but I just go with the flow. Like, I don't stress out about my patterns. I just work them as I go. And again, this is somebody else's, I'm following somebody else's pattern, so somebody else's creation. So 1, 2, 3, and here we go, make number 4. Okay, and here I'm gonna go and do 1 chain, and again 1 more stitch, puff stitch or popcorn stitch. Actually, I'm not doing the puff stitch. So 1, 2, the 3rd one is coming up, and now I do my number 4. See, I do not complete all the double crochets. I leave the last half of each double crochet on the hook, because at the end, once I've completed the 4 of them, I am coming over and I'm going to run the thread through all the loops that I have left on my hook, and now I secure them. So that is what I call a popcorn stitch, okay? Now we can just go ahead and pull on this, and that's why it's called the magic ring. Don't you just love it? I think it's fascinating, actually. So I hope that we're getting this properly and I hope that you're enjoying it. So okay, so now can you see well? Can you be seeing it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. We are going to turn our work. I did 1 stitch here just to help myself. We're going to turn the work, and in this chain that we created there, that we made there, we're gonna make 2 more puff stitch, or actually popcorn stitches. Okay, so here we go. Don't complete the double crochets, always leave the last half of it, leave the last loop on the hook. I got 2, 3 here. I'm going to have to do, actually no, I'm gonna leave it like this. I was gonna say I'm gonna do the 4 so that it looks complete, but it does look good. So now here I'm going, instead of just 1 chain like I did here, I'm going to do 2. Okay, just to give it enough space. Okay, so here we go again. Another popcorn stitch. 2, 3, and the last one is 4. Again, do things the way that you find work best for you. Like don't stress over things. This is supposed to be something to help you relax and enjoy yourself. Okay, so now here we're going to do a Solomon stitch. Okay, this is how I do my Solomon stitch. I've seen other people do it differently. What you gotta do is, once you have completed your chain, you pull the string that is on your hook. Pull. See? And you make it as long or as short as you like. Then you run your hook through it, make a chain there, and go back into it and make another chain. See? That is your first Solomon stitch there. Okay? So now we have these 2 chain space here. What we're gonna do there is we're gonna go and wrap our yarn into our hook, and we're gonna make 1 double crochet here, 1 double crochet. Okay, and then we're gonna do 1, 2, 3 chains. Okay, again in the same two chain space, we're gonna make another double crochet. So we're creating a small V here, see, because we're gonna continue to work some stitches in these space on our next row. All right, so we have Solomon stitch, double crochet, 3 chain space, another double crochet in the same 2 chain space that we have worked previously. Now, following the pattern here and creating it, we are going to go and make another Solomon stitch. My son is bringing on his little pets here, you know, showing some of his toys. Hopefully you guys get to see it. Here, hon. He wants us to see him. What is his name?
I forgot.
You forgot.
Because I haven't watched the Wonder Pets in a
Oh
long
yes,
time.
and this is from his Wonder Pets. And he hasn't watched them in a long time. Are they able to see it? Are they in the? Is the Wonder Pet in the right place? Are we catching it?
Yeah. See it.
Okay. Okay. You wanna leave it there?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna put it right there. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we do another Solomon stitch. Okay. And then we go back to this chain space here that we have in between these two popcorn stitches, and we're gonna go back and follow the pattern, and we make 2 more popcorn stitches. All right, separated by 1 chain. Remember, it's 4 double crochets that are not completed there, because you have to leave the hoops, the last hoops on the hook. Now my preference when I continue to grow the project is to do 2 chains instead of just 1 in between the two popcorn stitches. Okay, so I just chained 2 there, and here we go again. We create another popcorn stitch, and 2 and 3 double crochets, and our 4th one, and we go and we capture all of them. See, this is what we have so far. This is the end of our 2nd row. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and turn our work, and we're gonna go and create inside these 2 chain space here another popcorn stitch. You guessed it. Okay, for each popcorn stitch that you're creating here, it's gotta be 4 uncompleted double crochets, and then you run your hook through them again, right? And then we do 1, 2 chain. You think that's Winnie? Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we have our 2nd popcorn stitch completed. Now this is just a sample that I'm giving you so that you can continue creating your own work, right? As big or as small as you like. The point is that I'm trying to do here though is to give you the pattern so that you may follow it and grow it as much as you would like. So here, each time that we complete 2 popcorn stitch, we go and create and make 1 Solomon's knot, right? So now here I'm looking at this work here. We are right here, which means that now we are going to go into the 3 chain space that we created, and we're going to create 4 puff stitch or popcorn stitch, whatever you feel like doing with your work, whatever you feel best. We're going to separate each puff stitch or popcorn stitch with 1 chain. Okay, so 1, okay, there we go, 2 completed popcorn stitches. I'm starting to work on my 3rd one. And if you feel, oh no, oh my gosh, I'm running out of space here, what am I supposed to do my next stitch? Well, it's really simple. Don't fret, don't worry, don't despair. Just push these guys over to the side, you know. Make it work for you. That's what this is all about. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and there we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 popcorn stitches. Now what is the next thing that we have to do? Following the pattern that we have, created on this end, that means that we have to make another Solomon's knot. Okay. There we go.
And there comes the train.
Okay, so we have one Solomon's knot there. Now we're gonna go back and continue the pattern. We have this pattern on this side. We have created the Solomon's knot. Now we're gonna do what? The next puff stitch, pop-on stitch, whatever your pleasure might be. You know, just here we go. And remember to do your 2 chains to separate your work. Or to anyway. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And we have our second popcorn stitch. Here we go. Nice. Do you see what we're doing? Do you see what it is that we're creating here? We're still here on the right there. We haven't gone past that. Now we're gonna turn our work, chain 1 and then turn our work again. Okay. And enjoy our day. There we go. No stress, only joy in our lives. That's what we need. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I just
You know what?
What? I know, but I said I'm sorry. I excused myself. 1, 2 chains. And again, are we still in focus, Alex?
Yes.
Do you see my hands?
Yes. Made are good.
Can you still see what I'm doing with the needle, with with the hook?
You're still moving it.
Are you able to tell what it is that I'm moving?
Moving your hands in your stitch.
Okay. Now again we continue to follow the pattern. What have we got here, honey? This is serious work. Here you go. Okay, anyway. We're going to make another Solomon stitch. Okay. But here we're not gonna make just one. If I'm following things correctly, we're gonna do 2 Solomon stitches. So we do our first one, and then I'm going to do my second one. See, 2 Solomon stitch, one followed by the other, 1 and 2. Okay, now these I'm going to come over here, and these space here that we created in between these 2 popcorn stitches, I'm going to anchor my Solomon stitch into it. See, and then I'm going to go another step further, and I'm going to add 1, 2, and 3 chains, and then I'm going to anchor those chains into the next space that I have there. Again, 1, 2, 3 chains, and I'm going to anchor them into the next space that I have there. Following? All right. So now I am going to make another Solomon stitch. Don't be afraid, just try it out. Okay. Okay, be sure to make it nice and big knots here, because you're gonna have to work with it. Okay, so
his hand is still missing. It's doing my
oh
toy
dear.
box.
And again, I'm making my second Solomon stitch. My guest this morning, or my guest today, is my son. He's 6 years old.
And he will be 7 years old soon, and he's having the Transformers birthday.
He's having a Transformer birthday party. Now we follow the pattern that we have here, and we are going to create 2 pop-on stitches again right inside these 2 chain space. All right, so 1 and 2 chains. Actually, maybe I should just leave it with 1 because I like the 2. Again, another pop-on stitch. And here we go. My son is telling me that I should be playing some of my favorite music here. Okay, so here we go. And we have created 2 popcorn stitches, 2 chains, 2 popcorn stitches. And of course my son is a Star Wars fan. As you can see, he loves Transformers, and his younger years are here too. Okay, so now 1 chain. Again, we're going to create 2 popcorn stitches in the 2 chain space. All right, 1 popcorn stitch followed by 2 chains. Again, another popcorn stitch. Okay, and here we go. What do we do next? We create 1 Solomon knot. Okay, inside that Solomon knot, we are going to create the same thing that we did here. The 2 double crochets, and in between the 2 double crochets we're going to do 3 chains, right? Because we are creating a pattern here, ladies. And here we go again. Inside here we created these 1 Solomon's knot there, and these 1 here, right? We have the 2 of them. So what do we do here? In here we gotta go in there and make 1 double crochet followed by 1, 2, 3 chains, and again another double crochet. Right? Are you seeing what it is that we're creating? The next round that we do, the next row is gonna be what in here? You guessed it, another little flower, another little puff here. Okay, so here we come and we create another Solomon's knot. Okay, and we anchor these Solomon's knot inside these 3 chain space that we created right there. See how nice and handy that is? And here we go, and we do 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3, and we anchor these 3 chains inside the next 3 chain space that we have there. Okay, and since we're very good at following procedures, we go ahead and we make another Solomon's knot. One Solomon knot, and what did we do here? We made a we made a double crochet. So we're gonna go here and anchor our double crochet in here. 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3 chains. Oh, really?
Yeah.
And again, here we go, another double crochet inside the same space in between the 2 Solomon knots. Again, we follow the pattern because we're very good at following patterns, right? and we do another Solomon's knot.
So you have to say Solomon's knot.
Okay, there we go. It's really quite easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's really quite easy to just follow it. My son was having some chocolate cookies this morning, so I just noticed the crumb right there. Oh, brother. Okay. So, I've completed my Solomon's knot. Now I have to go back into these 2 chain space and make my next popcorn stitch.
What is a popcorn stitch?
1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Mom,
Yeah, honey.
I
And then
really,
chain 1 and turn our work. Yeah.
I really want you to like make me either for my birthday, or you can give it to me when you're done making with it.
Again, we follow the pattern and we go back to making a popcorn stitch here,
Either give it for my birthday, or when you're done, you can
followed by 2 chains,
give it to me.
another, and then followed by another popcorn stitch.
And also, I want it to be Optimus Prime.
And here we go. We have our next puff stitch. Okay, and here we go again. We do what? What comes after the popcorn stitch? You tell me. What do we create next? It's gotta be a Solomon's knot. You guessed it. There it is. Now we have our 3 chain space here, which is where we're going to go ahead and create another flower made up of 4 popcorn stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? And what do we do next? Following the pattern that we have here, we make another chain, and again we do another puff stitch or popcorn stitch, whatever it is that you're working with.
I need to drop this like in something.
Again, make a chain space in there, and we do our 3rd popcorn stitch, 2 and 3 and 4, and we have our 3rd popcorn stitch. However, the pattern requires 4 petals of a flower, half a flower in there, right? So I'm going to push this over to the side to make room for the next popcorn stitch that I'm creating here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Nice and easy. Okay. So now, what do we do here? I've got to create another Solomon's knot, right? We follow this pattern here. And here I go and make 1 Solomon's knot. And I gotta look at this as my reference since this is my reference here. So yeah, so one Solomon's knot, no problem. And then we come over here, we anchor our Solomon's knot into these 3 chain space that we had created earlier. What do we do next? Another Solomon's knot. Nice and easy. And here we go again. We create 4 more popcorn stitches here, whatever you're working with, whatever stitch you're using. This is again the little V that we created here with the double crochet, 3 chain space, and double crochet again the V that we formed another chain here. And again, here we go, and we do our next popcorn stitch. 2, 3, and 4. We create 4 puff stitches or popcorn stitches, whichever ones we're working with. Okay.
Popcorn everywhere. Popcorn everywhere. Break out. Sorry, I'm being a little noisy, Mom.
That's okay, hon. Play. That's your job. So here we go again. I only have 3 popcorn stitches here, but I need 4. I push this guys over to the side to make room for my next one. Okay, chain 1, and here we go. Create your next popcorn stitch, puff stitch, whatever it is that you're working with. I prefer my popcorn stitches. For some reason I like it best. It looks more like a petal.
What petal?
So, okay, here we go. That's right. And we have our 4 popcorn stitches. And what do you see happening here? What is it that we're doing? We're following the pattern here at the bottom. We're following up here. We're creating even more spaces for it and enlarging it, following the very same basic pattern until we grow our shawl as big or as small as we like. Now, if you not want to be wearing this as a shawl, you can wear it as a scarf, you know, like a V scarf, so hanging from the front of your neck and so on. So here again, here we go, and we make another, yep, that's right, Solomon's knot. See? And again, we form our 2 popcorn stitches again. Sorry.
I need a ladder. Oh my dolls, come on, my toy box. I need a Lego ladder.
And here we go, 1 and 2 chain. Again, we do our second popcorn stitch. And there we go. We have completed. I don't even know what row we're working on. I can't remember these. Probably 7th or 8th, maybe even 10th. I can't remember. So do you see what it is that we're working on? Do you see what it is that we're creating, right? And all you gotta do is just continue following the same pattern to continue to grow your shawl. So next, what is it that we're gonna do next? We're gonna turn our work. We're gonna do the next 2 popcorn stitches here, separated by 2 chains. We're gonna follow and make another Solomon stitch. And here from our Solomon stitch, we're gonna make what did we do here? Do you remember what we did down here? What did we do after here? We did 3 chains. Actually, now that I think about it, something to keep in mind is every time that you have completed your 4 puff stitches or your 4 popcorn stitches or whatever stitch you choose, is when you come up to here to the Solomon knot, always remember to make 2 Solomon stitches, 2 Solomon knots here, 1 and 2, right? Because from here you're gonna create another V with 1 single double crochet, 3 chains, 1 double crochet inside the Solomon, in between the 2 Solomon stitches, right? And my friends, our friends need to see these. Okay, so here when you come up, when you have done this row, when you completed all these row, always here when you come up to here, always make 2 Solomon stitches. Okay, that's your guide. I know, I think it's just the fire detector, the fire alarm. Why? I don't know, probably needs a new battery. So 2 Solomon stitches, and then that Solomon stitch, the second one, you anchor it into here, and you create 3 chains and anchor them here, and so on and so forth, right? It's really that easy. Let me show you again. Okay, if you have questions, please let me know. I will try my best to answer them. So here we go again. We are creating, here we started with 1 flower, and now up here we have the 2, which is the one that I took you through. And then we're gonna create again 2 Solomon knots, which will be the base for your next double crochet, 2 chain, double crochet space, so that you can, on the next row, on the following row, you can create your next flower. So we created the first flower, then 2, then you're gonna continue to build and make the 3 and 4 and so on, right? Until you have your desired length, your desired width. And so that's all for now. Again, please, if you have questions, let me know. My son's name here, I thank him for helping me with creating this video for all of you. He is Tristan Alexander. He's my gorgeous, handsome my little boy. And my name is Aret, H-A-R-E-T. Always keep your chin up and enjoy life. Whoa. Life is beautiful. God gave it to us so that we can enjoy it. Okay, so until next time, I will see you, and I will try and have something more and exciting for you to do. And if you have any suggestions, if there's anything that you find that you may like me to try and translate for you, please let me know. And again, this is based on Mayo Gonzalez's projects. I did do a bit of a variation on it, being that I didn't use the puff stitch, right? But I did follow everything in between, the main pattern, I guess. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to. Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.